Welcome to Counseling Now. I'm Herman Cummings.
And I'm Grace Lopez.
Today we're going to review the entire experience on being a CSU graduate student, counseling student. I know it first starts to when you start to think you want to become a counselor. I know that I decided after I graduated, got my bachelor's in psychology, and I took a vocational test, and I saw counseling was up there. That was already an interest of mine, so I started looking around, and I found that CSU counseling program was a very interesting program, something I decided I wanted to get into. Grace, how did you decide on when you knew you wanted to be a counselor?
Well, when I was 15 or 16, my high school actually offered a human behaviors course. So I took human behaviors 1 and 2, and then as a senior I took AP psychology. And so I always had an interest in people and how they function and work. So I went into college and went for my psychology major, and then decided to look what I can do after that if psychologist wasn't in hand. So I decided a counselor would be more working one-on-one with people. So that's how I came about my choice.
Right. Once you decide on the choice, the next thing to do is decide where you're going to go. There's a lot of programs, a lot of schools that do offer counseling programs around, but what really won me over is when I talked to Dr. Hackett and really saw heard his enthusiasm on his voice of how enthusiastic his passion for this program. It really won me over, and when you finally decide to admit to a CSU, there's an admission process. First thing you have to do is you have to apply to the school through admissions and through the department, fill in all the professional statement, your resume, do everything that you need to do in the departmental application, and once you reveal all the requirements, you will be called in for an interview process. And the interview process is very interesting, isn't it, Grace? I know that we both went through that process ourselves, and why don't you tell us a little bit about what happens there?
Well, first, one of the choices, like you said, why we chose CSU was because it was a KCRUP accredited program, which is an affiliate of the American Counseling Association. That way they help you get ready for licensure, and the courses will help you get ready for that. They're designed for that, and they also give you some form of creativity. And so the reason, that was one of the reasons why I chose CSU, the Counseling Foundations and Leadership Department, and spoke to Dr. Hackett as you did, that made us want to do that. And they gave you the choice of community or school counseling.
Indeed, and you also have to take the GRE, and the minimum requirements is an 800 on the GRE. You can also get in 700 on probation status.
Yep. Which means you just have to be able to get good grades within that first semester. And which one works for you is tricky. You know, you have to see which population you like to work with. If you become a school counselor, you'll be working with children probably from ages anywhere from 5 to 18. More than likely in middle school, high school, or elementary. And if you're in the community, you'll work with a wide variety. You may work with children, but you may work with adolescents, adults, seniors, all of that. Hospitals or clinics might be some of the environments you work in when you're in the community.
Indeed, and it's a tough decision for a lot of students. Some students are still undecided about which one they want to do. There are some students that do both, that actually go through the community setting and the school counseling setting, but they have to go through the internships through both. And one of the things that I was interested in, which you can also do, we don't have exactly a degree in marriage and family therapy, but you can earn a certificate in marriage and family therapy. If you're interested in that, you can go to the website. And through the website, you can go through all the courses. They have on there listed that you can get your certificate in marriage and family therapy.
And you also get the added experience of working with Army chaplains.
Indeed.
They take the marriage and family therapy certificate coursework.
Yeah, and our Army chaplain course is very, very good. And also what you can do, you can be certified as a school counselor, a licensed marriage and family therapist. And the good thing about marriage and family therapy, you can get your licensed marriage and family therapy and your LPC at the same time.
You just take the National Counselor Examination, which is a site here at the school. They actually are a certified site for the NCE, so you can take that upon your graduation, maybe right before the exit exam, since you're studying some of the similar material.
Yes, indeed. But before you get into the program, you have to do that interview process. And really, basically, what it is a group interview process where you and your other cohorts will be talking about why you want to enter the program. There will also be a writing assignment in the end, and also an overview of the entire program. You get to meet all the faculty and staff members, and you get to see their passion and their desire for the counseling field as well.
And before that, just make sure that we keep a file of you with all your experience and information. And in that file, we're looking for a departmental application. We're also looking for a professional statement, a resume, 2 letters of recommendation, and then we'll look towards the interview and mark that as well before you get accepted into the program.
Indeed, I can remember my interviewing experience, and it was very. I didn't know really what to expect, but it was a lot better than what my expectations were. I mean, you just talk about from your heart why you want to enter the program and why you feel this will be a good fit. How does this work for you? The overview program is really great because it lets you know what to expect in the program. They let you know what classes you have to take. They give you practical internship information. Really lets you know
about the Counseling Student Association that we have, and when you're 2 semesters in and you have a GPA of 3.5 or above, you can become part of Chi Sigma Iota, which is the National Counseling Honor Society, and we have a chapter here called the Chi Chi chapter, so that's something you can get involved in as well.
Indeed, and I just registered for Chi Sigma Iota as well, and it's a great thing to be a part of. And also, after you get through the interview, you go through a registration process. It's a good thing to do is you have to meet with your advisor. They have to let you know what classes that you should take. It's not a good idea to just sign up for courses that you want, because your advisor can really guide you in the right direction that you need to go.
It's important to also, if you can't meet with them face-to-face, a lot of them are okay with emails, so you can email them back and forth and get the basic courses that you need.
And a lot of the basic courses that students take in the beginning are ethics, group process and procedure, and research methods.
Counseling skills, where you learn those basic skills.
Yes.
And that's an exciting course because you get to actually do what many of us want to do, sit there and learn how to be there for the client and treat them with the empathy that they need.
Indeed. I know for me, Grace, it's almost like a mini internship because I got to go out to Fort Benning and actually use counseling skills on real-life clients with one of the Army chaplains. So it was a very, very enriching experience, sort of the out-of-the-box, out-of-the-classroom experience. You really learn a lot.
And you get to know the faculty and the students through the program. I mean, we have, about 5 teachers, 5 faculty members?
Yes, we have 5.
So it's a close-knit group, and you really get to learn a lot. And most of our professors all also do counseling out in the field. Yes. So not only are they teaching us, but they have real-world experience. They're either working in private practices or in a community agency.
Yes, it's a very. You can go to conferences, get information on conferences, do research. If a lot of students may be interested in getting their PhD, it's just very valuable to go to conferences and do independent research. And
conferences are sometimes a place where you can network, but the school, if you get early enough, the school can even help pay for students to go to that conference, especially if you have something to present.
Yes, indeed. And you can also join student organizations like COSA. It's the Counseling Student Organization, and it's a very, very good program. It keeps you a liaison between the students and the faculty.
Like networking.
Yes.
And that way you can plan conferences to go to and plan volunteer work to do. And there's lots of different courses that also emphasize the networking piece. Did you have a favorite course that you liked, Herman?
Well, counseling skills was a great course. Also, ethics. When I could say that I probably learned more from ethics about myself than I have any other course that I've ever taken in school. You really learn about what biases you have and what clients you might have trouble with, what clients that you might feel that you won't have trouble with. It's a really good experience. It lets you know really about yourself and really examine how your biases and how your worldview can really affect your client. What about you, Grace? Do you have any
It's so hard because I love counseling so much that it's hard. A lot of them are important. I enjoyed skills was enjoyable because I was also at the Chaplain Family Life Center, so it was a mini practicum. I also liked multicultural because it gave you a self-reflection piece so that you can look inwards and see, where your biases lie before you actually go out and counsel. And theories is important because it gives you an overview of all the diverse theories, and you can figure out maybe where your niche lies. I know no course is easy, but at least you get the information that you need to become competent.
Yeah, indeed, and theory is a very important part of that. And really, a student will not expect it to know what your theory will be exactly when you exit theories, but you will have a good idea of what the theories are. And a lot of it's getting into this integrating a lot of different theories into their practice.
And diagnosis is another one. Diagnosis is also what you'll take as you start practicum. And now maybe we'll talk a little bit about how you get practicum started. Do you remember how you start that, Herman?
Yes, I did. I interviewed. The best thing to do is try to interview as soon as possible. What you want to do is investigate sites. What I did, I didn't actually go to any of the sites, but I talked to students who've been to the sites before, older students in the program.
And then it's important to also talk to the practicum coordinator.
That is very important.
So after you maybe make some investigations, bring some ideas
Right.
to the practicum coordinator.
Indeed. And what I did was, after I talked to a couple of students, I talked to the practicum internship coordinator and let him know exactly where I wanted to go, what population I wanted to work with, some sites that I was interested in, and could really help and guide you in the right direction.
And help you give some of those important interview skills that you might need to get in there. And they're about, practicum is going to be about 100 hours for you, Herman.
Yes.
So that's what you do in the summer usually for community counseling. For school counseling, they have to do it during the school year, so they may do it in the fall semester. And then internship, which follows right after, is 300 hours, and you'll have 2 internships. So sometimes the community counseling will do 100 in the summer, the fall semester 300, and the spring semester 300. And you need 120 direct contact hours with clients face-to-face in one internship. So altogether, 40 for the 100, the shorter practicum, and altogether it's 280 face-to-face hours with clients doing counseling.
Yes.
700 in total.
700 total hours, so that's about a year, Grace?
Yep, about a year.
About a year. All right. So a lot of students wonder how long it's going to be, about a year.
And group hours are also included in there, so make sure that the site that you choose has some kind of group work you can do, because sometimes that can be difficult for some sites that don't have that.
Yes, it is also very important to make sure you get your supervision. Get your supervision taken care of, because a lot of times what you have to do is make sure that the on-site and on campus that you make sure you get your supervision hours.
Because they need their good support system for you, because
Yes,
we're
they
just
are.
starting out. Most of us have never sat with another person counseling. So supervisor, you want to make sure that you also choose a site where the supervisor is going to be available to you as much as you need, because you need at least 1 hour, I believe, a week with a supervisor on site, and an hour and a half or so with a university supervisor. So you need to make sure that you find someone who's available to you and who is supportive and meets the needs that you need as a counselor, a beginning counselor.
Indeed. And 1 year for licensure.
You get 1 year. The hours that you spend with us gives you 1 year off
Toward your license. Wow.
Yeah.
That's great news. And those that are looking to get into the marriage and family therapy, it's important that you get a marriage and family approved supervisor.
Right. So instead of the 4,000 hours needed to work towards your LPC, licensed professional counselor, it becomes 3,000.
Indeed.
Because you've used up, almost 1,000 within your internship and practicum. And for a licensed marriage and family therapy, you need about 3,000, and it goes down to 2,000 with the experience you get here.
Indeed.
And are you excited to start it, Herman?
Oh, yes, I'm very excited to start it. It's a process that's been taken through the beginning of this year, and I've been keeping in touch with my site and making sure my schedule meets their schedule as far as being able to get my supervision. So it's a very exciting process. I'm very excited to start.
And I'm finishing up my internship. I've done practicum last summer, internship fall, and internship now. And as I'm finishing up, I'm actually taking the National Counselor Examination this Saturday, which will help me work towards my licensure, because in the state they require that you pass the NCE. So that's what I'm looking forward to passing this weekend.
And also you have to take the exit exam as well. And a lot of times it really coincides with the NCE, because a lot of students take that and take the NCE and do very, very well on both tests. The scores are very similar. And also what you have to do is get the portfolio.
Yep. In order to sit for the exit exam, you first have to pass your portfolio. And a portfolio is just a comprehensive look into what the program has done for you. So you'll put all your coursework, or the coursework that you found the best for each course, and compile it into a binder. They usually ask for an inch and a half binder, not too big, along with your vita. So you can put down all your honors, all your publications, put that all together. Be creative with it, because creativity is something that the professors will judge. You hand in your portfolio halfway through a semester. For the spring, it'd be around March 15th. You hand in your portfolio. The professors get a chance to look at it, and then if you pass the portfolio, then you can sit for the exit exam, which is usually towards the end of the semester.
Indeed, and really one key thing to do about the portfolios is keep all your coursework and then your graded coursework, your activities. Really, you can always keep a journal while you're in the program, so it'll be a lot easier when it comes around for that time when you try to get the portfolio exit exam together. There's also graduate assistantships available throughout the program. You could just ask our secretary about that. How was it being a graduate assistant for you, Grace?
Oh, I've loved it. I've gained so much experience, and the best part was that if you don't have the finances to go to graduate school, a graduate assistantship can help waive your tuition.
That's right.
You still pay the fees, but you don't have to pay the tuition, so you're not paying for your coursework.
That's right.
And then it helps you to also gain experience for a job. So then when you're applying for jobs and they see you were a graduate assistant, they saw that not only were you in school and an internship, but you were also working.
Indeed, and also the graduate assistantships allow unique opportunities for independent research. People working for getting a PhD soon, so it's a very good experience. What do you think it would be the best part about being in the College of Education, professions?
Yeah, within the Counseling Foundations and Leadership Department?
Yes.
Oh, that's so hard. There's lots of good parts. One of the best parts is being able to speak to our fellow students, not only through our organizations, but through this, actually being on COEHP TV, and being able to help those students that are coming in.
Yes, it was a great experience, and it really allows you to see how the workings of the program, and it really gets you inside. It's a great experience.
And you get to be up to date with technology, too. I know in counseling skills, one of the professors likes us to buy flips because they're easily accessible, and you can fill up, the flip and hand it into your professor, and he can easily boot it up to a computer. And through the program, I felt extremely prepared for the world out there of counseling. I've interviewed at 3 or 4 places, and I felt comfortable interviewing just because I've had to interview for, the practicum and internship, and then I also interviewed for the graduate assistant position. So,
very well, and the program really gets you well prepared for out in the real world. Thinking of final thoughts as we try to close this program out. When from the beginning to the end, there's so much that you learn, things that you will be a different person from when you start the program, from when you end the program. I know you can attest to that, Grace. It's a really great program. We have committed faculty members that are great and accessible whenever you need them. And we'll definitely recommend for anyone that's interested in counseling, school counseling or community counseling, to come to this program. It's a great, great program, well respected. Because we have Army chaplains. We're only one of 2 places in the world, in the United States, that offer a chaplain program for marriage and family therapy.
It's
so this
really
is a great,
exciting.
Great program. For Counseling Now, I'm Herman Cummings with Grace Lopez, signing off.